Good morning and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is day 16, can you believe it, of the construction build out at Villa FELIZ. Today we will be doing things like putting up the rest of the rebar for the 7 remaining vertical support columns that need to be installed before we can actually pour some more concrete. I don't know if we'll get the bases. My contractor said probably tomorrow, putting the footer concrete in for those 7 footers that need to be done. But I'm wondering if we might not be able to get some of that done today, because it doesn't seem like it's going to take a full day to do the 7 rebar support structures. We'll see. Every day again is a surprise. We also need to make contact with Botlek. We're having a little bit of difficulty getting him to do the temporary power connection up there. I don't know if we'll do it today. We might do it tomorrow. I might have to actually go down to Botlek and speak with the folks down there. Maybe I'll get my contractor to go with me and we'll go together. Also, today, as promised, I planned on doing it yesterday, but we had the wonderful visits by some of the subscribers that came down there, so I wasn't able to do this, which I had planned to do, which is to give you a monthly budget wrap-up for the month of February. So I will try today to put that together and post that as a separate video segment at the same time that I do today's segment of the construction build. So let's get the day underway. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. You looking at me? I think he was looking at me. Well, I just got onto the subdivision and I stopped by the admin office and I spoke with the admin person. I had several comments yesterday, and I also had the 2 visitors that stopped by yesterday that were subscribers that were actually thinking about purchasing property inside this development. And both of them said they went onto the website and they looked the pricing on there, and then there's a contact section at the very end, and there's an inquiry window, and you can put your name and you can request more information about the development, about the lots and pricing and things like that. And what they told me was that when they submitted that and they got a reply back, and actually a couple of them showed me the email that came back from the realtor that is responsible for the development. Well, of course, you do not have to go through the development's realtor. You can actually go to other realtors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some more information about that in just a moment. Well, anyway, when they showed me the email actually is quoting different prices that's being advertised on the website. So my wife, she loves these programs like CSI and Miami Vice and NYPD Blue, all this kind of things, where they do all this investigative reporting and things like that. So today I'm going to be a CSI guy, and I'm going to do investigative reporting. And I've already been proactive with that this morning. What I did was, before I left this morning, as I was answering the viewer comments on My PI Dream, I actually contacted my realtor that I actually purchased mine way back 2010 or something like that. And he was up very early this morning, about 6:30, and he responded right back to me. And when I bought my lot, it was exactly the same price that was listed on the website. So I'm like, what the heck? And he said he's going to look into it for me. So you might want to use him as a realtor, and I will post it once he gets back with me later on this afternoon. I will post all of his specific information, and you can go through him. If it looks like the prices that he tells me that he can quote for here are a better price than what's listed on the website. Of course, realtor to realtor to realtor, there's different fees and different commissions and things that are involved with that. So it actually might be to your advantage to do some research and source out a different one than the one that's actually on the development website. Also, what I did this morning, I stopped by the admin office and I spoke with our wonderful MARQUEZ out here, who is the know-all for everything that's to do with everything that's going on in development. Again, like one of my friends out here that is like the right-hand man of the developer. She's sort of like the right-hand lady of the developer itself too, and she has all the answers. So what I did, I stopped by her place, and I spoke with her this morning as well, and I explained to her the dilemma that people are coming up with trying to get information about pricing, and she told me she is also going to look into what the discrepancy might be, or get the real scoop. She did say that there were some planned rises in some of the prices, and but they weren't in effect. She said they were not in effect now, as she knows it. So we're going to get to the bottom of this, and I will give you the information as soon as I find it. Let's head out to this job site. So something on the way walk in, I just wanted to mention. This used to be all this. It looks like a creek bed, and it goes over to the other side. It's a nice little bridge that goes across here, and it goes this way. Before the subdivision was actually developed, this actually used to be like a riverbed. And I was talking with Ramil, and he was telling me that this area right here, years ago when this was undeveloped, that all the people from the barangay would actually come out here, and they would swim out here. It was like a regular swimming hole back when this was rural, undeveloped, and like kind of like jungle area. This is the Jeep of my builder's father. I wonder if it broke down. Time to do more CSI. How's everybody today?
All right.
All right, so I am here back in my little Bahikuko office here. The workers are actually doing the digging. They're doing the preparation for the tie beams, so they're digging all that area out. I think what my contractor is planning on doing today is basically doing as much of the digging, and then he'll do the rebar, and he'll probably do the interconnects between the beam, the tie beams, and the column support structures. And then I think we'll see a lot of concrete report. So that might be what he was talking about when he said there might not be concrete pour today. I don't know. Well, again, we'll play that one by ear and we'll see what happens. So the father of my contractor, the Jeep that was over there, his vehicle is not broken down. I did my little CSI stuff here, and what it is, that actually where he parked it there, that's where there is actually an active electrical connection. Of course, I explained to you that this whole grid here, there's no electricity back because nobody's ever developed back here before. And the electric company is telling us, that Batlek is saying that, oh, there needs to be like 10 houses for them to service before they'll come out and they'll surface and do all the wires and stuff like that. Well, that's not going to work. You have one customer, you have to provide them with electricity. So again, we will work with Batlek, and we'll work with the development. I suggested we go tomorrow to Batlek and speak with one of the managers down there. So tomorrow, my contractor and I will go down there and we'll speak with them, and hopefully we get some progress moving forward on the temporary electrical connection, which will eventually lead to the permanent electrical connection that we're going to need in 8 whatever months that's going to take to complete this project. In the meantime, so that we don't have a work stoppage, because we need electricity to run the power saws to cut the forms that go around the columns and the beams, what my contractor is going to do, he's going to purchase 300 meters of electrical cable. That's a pretty long run, but it's what we have to do to keep the progress going here. And where the Jeep, his father's Jeep was parked, that's actually where the connection is. So he's going to run it from here, 300 meters down the road. We're the only ones back here, so we don't have anything to worry about. And they'll do the electrical connection down there, and at least we'll have power to move forward on the building progress. So if you remember from yesterday's video, I was just about to give you the solution that we selected for the problem that we had for where the stairway landing is going to be. That's going to go to the front porch. If you remember correctly, originally it was a two-tier level, and it was sticking out pretty far, which was going to limit the width of the driveway, and it was also going to limit the turning radius that you have for actually doing the entrance and the exit of the underground garage. Well, and then again, I'm going to refresh you again. My architect sent me 2 more options, which basically took that 2-tier level and actually moved it in front of the house. And what I told him was that I don't want to go in that direction, because that actually blocks the entire front of the house. Well, at least that section of the front of the house where it should be just the porch, not anything blocking in front of it. So that didn't look very good. Then I suggested to him that we just cut the 2-tier down into just a 1 stairway level with a short landing that puts you onto and move it a little bit forward. So he actually drew that up, and like I wanted to do for you yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and post it, and I'll show you what our final solution is at this point right now to give us more flexibility, more room, with a simplified design, but it will achieve all the objectives of getting down the driveway with the vehicle, a bigger turn radius, and more space down here. So here's what it looks like. So something else I'd like to do, I'd like to clarify a couple of questions that some of the subscribers had about the entrance into the garage. As you know, I'm standing right here. This is going to be by this coconut tree. The driveway comes through here. The vehicle is going to drive. It's about a 3-meter driveway inside here, and then you're going to go down into the basement over there, and that's where the vehicle is going to park. I had a couple of people had questions about why is it there, why is it not in the front, why isn't the entranceway coming directly from the street here going inside. Well, let me go over that really quick so I can tell you why we selected the solution that we did there. If you see, we selected coming from the street. This is where our gate is actually going to be, right there over my shoulder, and we're going to drive through here and down. Now, one of the subscribers said, well, why don't you just go from the front of the house directly and go right underneath the front? Well, the reason we're not doing that is because we don't have the distance between the columns. You see each one of the columns here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They're very short distances in between. That's one reason. Second reason is I don't want a driveway right down the center of my front yard, driving right through the front yard into the house. But the main thing is it's not possible due to the columns. So that's the answer to that question. The second one was, and even when I had the visitor or subscriber yesterday, Homer, came by, he asked the same question on this side. Well, why not, instead of coming from that part of the corner, which, like I said, this you're going to be coming from this way, and that's where the gate's going to go, right by this coconut tree, and you're going to go through the gate, and then you're going to go around and turn into the parking. He said, well, why not go down this side of the street and instead of having it in front of the house, put it on the side of the house, and basically just go from right here and pull and go directly down into the garage. Well, that's not possible either, because from here to here it's about 3 meters. This is only about 3 meters, and to go down to the angle of the slope would be so steep. It'd be like a 45-degree drop, and then by the time you got to the bottom, on a 3 meter plus the small area before going into the wall for the landing down there, it would be so difficult to try to go. It'd be like straight down, and then you would have no place to actually for the car to level off, and it's so short. Okay, so that's the answer to that one. And the only way we can do that, really the only way to do that, is the way we've designed it here, which is actually to go around and go here. That's why we had to clear this spot up here with the stairway and move it forward, so we have more turn radius. And there's only one place anywhere here that has this has a 5 meter separation between this column right here and where there'll be another column, this one right here. So technically that is really the only solution that we have, and I think it'll be fine now that we've decided to move the stairway, simplify it and move it a little bit forward, so we have a lot more room in this area right here. So we got a little bit of it's a nice cool breeze coming through this morning. Hopefully it's not affecting the microphone so much you don't hear a bunch of the noise and the rumble on that one. What I wanted to point out, and before you guys actually ask the question, you see the column right over here, and you see where they actually made the bends in there. I explained to you about the splicing, how critical splicing is when you're doing columns and tie beams. And my contract, you see, that's like 1.2, 1.3 meter. We actually have a really big splice inside there. And the splices on the column are going to be a little bit different from the splices on the beams. You can actually have all the splices in the column in the same spot. What's important for staggering, you want to make sure if you're having the beams done, that your splices are in different locations, because of the way that the weight is pushing down on the beams themselves. So when your workers are actually, or your contractor is actually designing and actually doing the installation, make sure that you have good distances at like maybe 80 to, like I said, this is about 120, 130 centimeters overlap. Make sure you have good overlap, and also make sure on the beams that you have them staggered and not one spot, because if you've got all the splices in one spot, is a vulnerability that it can actually break in that one point right there, where you don't have a solid connection across. So I know the question is going to come up. I see this guy over here has all the splices, and this one that they're getting ready to install, you can see the little bends in the bottom, and I'm not sure if you see many of the other ones yet that already have it. But how come these and this, how come there's no bend in it? Well, they're all going to have bends at that same point for the splices. I asked my contractor the same thing. He said, well, when the guys actually first they got over anxious and they were excited to start getting some rebar in the ground, and they put it in without it, and they do it after it's actually the bottom part of the column is actually concreted. And when they get it up, what they'll do is they'll actually do the bend at this point right here after it's in place. And it's not a problem. Sometimes it's easier to do it on the bench over there where they have their little jig, but it's no problem once they do it later on. It's just a little bit more awkward. So I told you, nothing goes wasted around here. So when these guys need something, they need a ladder or a tool or something like that. Like you saw them take the log the other day and made the compacting tool for the gravel. Well, when these guys need a ladder, they just make their own ladder right here. one way to do it.
Yes.
This is my crew. You can't ask for a better crew than this. So if the mountain won't come to Muhammad, Muhammad's going to go to the mountain. So that's what these guys are doing right here. They're actually running their own electrical cable, and they're going to tie it in at the end down there, quite all the way around the corner. It actually right to where there's a house built on the corner, and they're going to run it there. Then they're going to go to Bottleneck, have Bottleneck come out and actually do the splicing connection down there, so that we actually have electricity on the construction site. So these guys are extremely proactive, and they don't let anything stop in their way. So I'm really happy with that. All right, while the guys are over there getting the electrical hookup, the rest of the crew are taking a break over here. It is a little afternoon, and what they've left here is they have the rebar that they cut. It's ready to be tied in, and this one also is ready to be tied in, so that will give us 10 on the front, and the only ones that are remaining are the 1, 2, 3, 4, and I suspect they will get all 4 of those all tied in today by the close of I really believe we'll be done with that since it's noon. We got 5 hours worth of work to get done. But they also are focusing a lot of their attention on cutting pulling up the dirt and digging out the dirt for the tie beams as well. So anyway, it's getting close to the end of business. It's like a quarter till. A quarter till 5, and the crew usually gets done, and I'll go a brief overview and just a little bit on what we've got accomplished for the day. But another surprise today, we have some visitors here. Which these aren't like regular subscribers. These are real good friends of ours. This is Lydia, and this is her, and this is Frida, the daughter, and this is the brother. This is Danny, the brother of Lydia. And Lydia actually, she traveled to the United States. And she visited us at our home in the United States. She's a good friend of my wife's family, and they came out to visit and see the lot construction today. And I know my wife will be extremely excited to know that our friend came to visit us today.
Oh, goodness. If you're watching, Nessie, hi.
So this has been a great day, and I will do a wrap up when these guys get done. They're getting close to what I expected to get done today. Like I said, it's a quarter till, and they're still working on the last few pieces of the rebar. So we'll do a wrap up in just a little bit. I have to chat with my friends. So let me get the quick end of day. I almost left sight. Lydia and Frida are actually taking me out the front gate, and then I'm going to walk to the house. But for the end of the day, we actually got a lot done here. We didn't get all the rebar in the ground like I was expecting, but if you see here, all 5 in the front are in. All 5 on the second row are in. Back here, we actually have all the rebar is sitting in the back waiting to go into the ground, and that will go into the ground tomorrow. And we are getting another delivery of sand, because you see we have a lot of rock, but we're a little bit low on the sand. So I'm going to call it a day. I'm going into town. Tess promised that she would have dinner waiting for me at the little Sorry store. She's making adobo, and I think she said tinola. I think she said, which one do you want? I'm like, I want both. So I'm gonna head on in, and I'm gonna wrap up today. So I'm glad we got a lot of stuff done today, and please join me tomorrow, which is day 17. Day 17 on the construction build out here at Villa FELIZ. So until tomorrow, if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up, please share, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow on My PI Dream.